Welcome back. Football on full heel. Futbol on full heel. Once again, this is episode 12. I am Frankie, here again with Andres and Johnny. All in the same camera, all in the same frame for you today. Our boy Donkeytron from the Full Heel Studios in the back, producing on the boards as usual. Back at it again, just to give you guys a quick little update. We're still actively discussing an official name for it. Let us know. You guys like Futbol on full heel? You guys got any suggestions? What you think? Let us know. Let's get interactive here. But yeah, thanks again for joining in. Thanks for liking and watching previous episodes. Please share. Let us know what you think. We'll get right into it. Today was busy. Today was the deadline day. Today's January 31st, so it's the close of the winter European transfer deadline. So there was a lot of movement. We'll talk about that. We'll kind of give you an overview, briefly discuss the results from the big leagues, the elite leagues this last week. And as usual, we'll give you guys our picks at the end. The picks that, by the way, I'm leading in as of right now.
Yeah, get out of here with that.
All right, so we'll get right into it. Talking about the best team in the world at this moment, Liverpool. Liverpool, surprisingly, since the last time we went on, tied Shrewsbury Town 2-2 in the FA Cup. So they'll have to do a replay, which I believe this week, right? They'll do another replay.
Klopp already said he's not going to. So.
Right. Which Klopp said they'll send the kids to and that he won't coach for, which has caused a little bit of a controversy. But yeah, no, this English congestion, right, is a big topic. Pep Guardiola and Klopp are two of the bigger names, right, that have spoken out against it. And like you said, Johnny, there's a 2-week break, right, coming up for the players in England. And Klopp said he's going to honor that for his players, right? And then some of the teams from the lower divisions have come out and called Klopp out and said that's unprofessional, that's not cool, right? But it is what it is, man. These guys are human beings. They need a break.
Bro, they tied and they have to play another game just to get tied. They can't go to like extra times or penalties. Yeah, it's like adding one whole game just because you tied. Like you can simply just add the game ends.
Yeah, England is the only place that does that, right? Replays.
They want more in games, and it's like the players are like, this is too much.
Well, to add to the congestion, right? They had this congestion because the holiday period is crazy in England. They went to the Club World Cup and won. And also this week they played their game at hand. They beat West Ham 2-0 in a game where Mo Salah scored, right? He scored one and assisted one. Mm-hmm. Which means now Liverpool's caught up. They're 19 points clear at the top of the table, guys. Impressive. Not skipping a beat.
Beat every team in the Premier League.
Going from strength to strength. Like you guys were just saying, the midfield is imposing, right? What were you saying about the Ox, right? Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Wijnaldum.
Yeah, he was unstoppable. The Ox showed strength. We just pushed the defender down.
Yeah, and the finish against West Ham, he just looked like a bull. And how we said maybe in the beginning of the season, Fabinho went down, and we're like, is he their best midfield player? And it's kind of proven out that it's just the system, and they're all just on it. Mm-hmm. Like how Wijnaldum, like who's been their best midfielder is the best question, the hardest question probably.
Probably
because the front three is always there, but this year the midfield to me has really stood out as their
defining.
They're unsung heroes. Yeah, they're just like everyone's pitching in when they have to, coming in, but like just tanks. Like Wijnaldum, what a season he's been having too. So he's rightfully so up there for like how Liverpool just on a machine. Like it's hard to describe right now.
No, that's the perfect way to describe it. They're a machine. Klopp's got these guys well drilled. They don't skip a beat, man. They don't skip a beat. Andres is already trying to talk shit like they might tie Southampton this week. Yeah. It's not gonna happen. Right.
They're a high press. Southampton's a high press team, bro.
Here we go.
Well, you saw. I'm just saying that because you saw what Wolves kind of, put a little scare to them. So
But
maybe
Wolves, where's Southampton in the table? Rafa, look, let me see. You have it there.
It's Southampton Wolves apparently I'd say.
They're mid-table.
5.
Southampton's somewhere in the
Yeah,
mid-table.
can you go down on the table,
Yeah,
Rafa?
I got you.
Well, I guess more so it's not where they're at in the table. It's just like
Southampton
their style.
on the table.
Their style, even Klopp.
They're ninth.
Klopp
not
came
bad.
out saying that maybe that high press. It's something to look at, So.
Well, the thing for me is like as we look at this assist and goal from Salah to Ox, I think he's a little mad at not getting more playing time lately.
Ooh, Salah?
No, Ox.
He got mad when he was subbed out the other day.
He gets subbed out all the time right away. And look at this finish. Look, he's like, boom, onside. This guy act a fool.
He's prone to injury, so I don't blame
Yeah.
Klopp for taking him out early and kind of easing him back in, But I understand the young man's frustration.
Yeah, but look, boom, that's from the mid too. So he comes up. It's like the thing I brought up the other day is like Liverpool just like it's not like they just do one thing. They've built on everything they do, and like they have different methods to resort to, and all that stuff.
Given the game situation,
Counter-attack.
If they're on counter or if they throw bodies to the front, they confuse the
high press.
They confuse the defenders, but they're all stuff they already trained for. Like they're like
The front three changes and switches up, and they get some
look,
good passing
yeah.
combinations. They've mixed it up. No, I agree. They can do whatever. They're like chameleons.
But they've built on it, and I'm like, a lot of teams just are still not even at that base where I think I saw some video too that it's like this year Liverpool has so much possession.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? So they're not pressing as much.
It's because they're saving energy.
Yeah.
They have to.
No, because they can play like that now. Because now they have all their pieces.
Well, a lot of times the whole opponent will go just park the bus. And, I mean, Liverpool's best bet to beat that is just tire them out, Make them go
But,
fullback to fullback, make them run. And then
Yeah.
so it's been low-scoring games, but they have to, like, grind these players out, by doing all these fucking crosses.
And I know Frankie said we're still thinking of a name, but he didn't tell the people what they should think about. One of them is what Liverpool can't go for anymore, right? Essentially, if Klopp is just going to send the kids to the FA Cup, they can't get that young treble.
Yes.
So
Look out. That's one of the working ones. We might call this the Treble Podcast since there are three of us. And winning a treble is one of the most illustrious
things you can do as a
in football. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So look out for that. That's kind of one of the big ones right now.
Yeah, tree. But essentially that's what Frankie was bringing up earlier, that Klopp said like F you to that competition because they just realistically are like, we're gonna take the break,
Yeah. The FA Cup is not being prioritized. It's all about winning the first league in 30 years and repeating in the Champions League, which they can totally do.
But it is kind of how Andre said, like, they should just go to penalties in those games. But it's all about that money and playing more than...
Yeah, but that's what he's protesting, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but...
Well, yeah, Liverpool's amazing. They continue to be. We'll see if and when...
they beat every team, right?
Yeah, I'm glad for bringing that one. That's a good one. Yeah, they've now beat every single team in the Premier League this season.
That's crazy.
They've
It's
played
not.
some of
It's
them.
like what 4 games over the one game over the halfway point.
Yeah. Yep. They've played a few teams twice already, right? They've played United twice. They've played I think Wolves twice. I might be wrong, but yeah, no, they've played Wolves twice now.
They're gonna play Southampton twice now.
Yeah, no, but yeah, they beat every team in the Premier League this season now. So we'll see if and when they start slowing up. Elsewhere in England, the Carabao Cup semifinals were played in the midweek. Aston Villa beat Leicester to advance to a final for Aston Villa, who has just been promoted into the Premier League after being down in the Championship for a while. And of course, Manchester City just holds on against United. United actually won the second leg 1-0. A goal from Nemanja Matic, but City holds on and they advance. So if you're into the League Cup, if you're excited about the Carabao Cup, City versus Villa, watch out for that. They play in Wembley. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
It's a trophy.
It's a defending champ city, right?
Yeah.
Defending
I think City has,
March 1st. Thanks, Rafa.
City always wins this trophy historically, like within the last 6-7 years.
The League Cup final is March 1st.
Or 5 years, I think. They've out of 7 years, they've won it 5 times. Even when Pellegrini was there, so.
I mean, it's an early trophy. It's like that Italian trophy, right?
No, they played the Super Cup late.
No, they have another Italian trophy, the one they lost to in the final. Remember, Juve lost the final.
That's the Super Cup, the Italian Super Cup. Yeah,
I'm saying that's the equivalent of the Carabao Cup.
No, so the Carabao Cup is.
They just win it early. I guess that's the only similarity.
Yeah, no,
you win it early in the season.
The championship.
So in England they have the FA Cup, right, which is open to all of the teams, professional teams in England, right, or in the Football Association, right. The League Cup, I believe, is just teams in the Premier League, and then the Championship, and then League One and League Two.
That confused the up out of me.
Yeah.
I was just talking about more so that it's trophies that are won earlier, because the Carabao will be done in March 1st.
March 1st,
I guess that's not that early, because the Coppa Italia already was done.
Well, see, that's the thing. The Coppa Italia and the Supercoppa that Juve lost, and the Supercoppa that Barca lost in, or whatever, they were historically have always been played before the season starts. They've done them in the winter now so that they can do them somewhere foreign, somewhere far away, and make more money on them. It's BS, right? This is the game that what do they call it in England? The Community Shield, right?
Yeah.
It's like a preseason tournament.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean much, honestly.
That's what Chicharito scored that one.
I think really the only Super Cup that matters is the European Super Cup, right? The winner of the Champions League versus the
Community Shield goal, bro. The Chicharito face.
Oh yeah, his first. Wasn't that his first goal? Wasn't that his first goal?
Chicharito face goal
for United.
Probably the best Community Shield goal.
I mean,
but yeah, we'll talk about the English teams and the English clubs a little bit more at the end, because we're going to talk a lot about transfers, and there was a lot of transfers in England, especially today. But moving on to La Liga in Spain. Wow, one of our picks that we all missed last week. Valencia beat Barcelona 2-0. The first loss in the Quique Setién era, right? Also just
second game, isn't it? Wasn't only second game.
And no, I think it was his third match in charge and their first loss. But yeah, it wasn't good. Barca, since he's taken over, has had a lot of possession, but it's been meaningless possession, right? A kind of predictable possession that they can't really capitalize on, right? So they lost to Valencia 2-0 in the league. Meanwhile, Real Madrid beat Valladolid with a goal from Nacho, a defender, right? This is something that Johnny brings up frequently, understandably so, which means that Real is now up 3 points in La Liga.
Atop the league.
Atop of the league right now by 3 points, getting a little bit of separation. Atletico, meanwhile, tied. They're in complete shambles right now.
They just lost Felix, too.
Yeah, somehow in third still.
Somehow still in third. Sevilla's creeping up there. But, yeah, Madrid getting some separation. Now, both teams also won midweek in the Copa del Rey. Barcelona won 5-0, right? Straight shellacking of Leganes. El Vasco Aguirre's team. Shout out to him. Former Mexican player, Mexican coach / manager.
Atletico Madrid coach.
He used to coach Atletico. He's coached the Mexican national team on 2 different occasions. And yeah, they blew him out 5-0. Messi got 2 goals. Pretty much involved in every single goal as usual. Griezmann got the early goal, playing as the number 9, right, as a center forward, which is something we've talked about in length, right? But my question to you guys in regards to Spain, right? The forwards, right? Forwards is a big topic of conversation. Johnny, again, has always kind of pointed out, for the last month at least, Real Madrid's forwards have not been scoring. They've been getting goals from Casemiro, goals from defenders, Varane. Right? Nacho scored in this one. Yeah. Varane scored. Finally, actually, in the midweek, Vinicius, right? And Vasquez and Benzema scored. But it's the first time they've gotten an attacking goal, right? Or from an attacker, you can say.
Cruz has scored. Modric has scored.
Well, finally, right? It was the Copa del Rey, but their strikers are getting on, and their wingers are starting to score, right? Also, similarly, Griezmann had some success in the middle of the week playing in the number 9, right?
They lost.
Well, no. He played out wide still, right? Because they played Messi essentially against Valencia, so that he wouldn't have to come back and press as much, right? But in the middle of the week, they played Griezmann essentially. So is this the fix, right? Barcelona didn't sign another forward. Suarez essentially out for almost the rest of the season. Is this going to work for them? Is this going to work for Madrid? Is what they're doing at the forward position, either of those two teams, sustainable?
Well, I don't know what Madrid is doing necessarily at the forward position besides
wait for Hazard to come back.
the thing that Zidane has going for him is that Madrid has depth, arguably better players. They got Jovic, Benzema, Vasquez, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and just as a luxury, Bale. And then they still have Isco.
And James.
And Hazard. What are we talking? I just named and Mariano. 7 players. I don't know. So it's like
we've said they're in a better position, right? But they haven't been firing, right? So,
yeah, but that's why I asked. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they have more options. Whereas Barca, I think what you said is right. They're going to have to play Griezmann at the 9. Because Messi, he played at the false 9, and to me it didn't look as good as Griezmann at there.
He also dropped the 3 center backs, right, or the 3 at the back, in the middle of the week. So maybe he'll start moving away.
He's trying to give that mid some type of air or some type of help, with the 3 at the back, because he adds the 2 fullbacks to the middle or whatever, the 3-4-3, but. I mean, we keep talking about it like they're mid, like
the 3-5-3, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Like they're mid.
No, 3-4-3. You're right.
They're mid. Like, what is it doing? Or like Busquets.
I think
like that's not defined to me, and that's what makes me say that how you've been alluding or not. Now they got separation, but Madrid just looks a more compact, a more organized team with intent.
Right.
Whereas Barca is like, we got individualities that'll solve games for us, but the problem with that is that their defense has been. I mean, they have Ter Stegen, so.
Yeah. But it's like you said, no intensity in the midfield, right?
I think what impresses me the most about Madrid is that they have a really good defense. Like, they haven't conceded much, and they're winning games just off not getting scored on. Courtois has a lot of clean sheets. He cleaned it up.
Well, Varane he's good.
Yeah, Varane.
He's a world-class defender now.
Mendy has, put pressure on Marcelo. So
yeah, he has.
Behind Liverpool, they're the best defense, in the top 5. So I think that enough is gonna.
Yeah, right. They haven't given up a lot of goals.
They haven't. They only have
15.
They have 1 loss in the league. So I mean, they're pretty underrated as to how strong they kind of are in terms of defense.
And like we started saying too, Zidane is kind of showing finally some tactical new rights. And Johnny and I have always been quick to kind of call him just a man manager, right, and kind of criticize him. But he's actually been
he hasn't lost,
showing some things, right, some organization, some.
Yeah, and I think maybe with Hazard coming back, they'll probably find some rhythm. Hopefully he'll come back.
Now
more fit.
You guys too, kind of at length during the week, off air, talked about the midfield, right? What is Barca's ideal midfield? We mentioned they're aging, they're not dynamic, they're not intense, right? There's no link between the midfield and the attack. What is their best? If they're gonna do at least the classic Barca 4-3-3, who do you guys start? We were kind of arguing about this or debating before we went on. Who's your ideal 3 right now?
I would probably bench Busquets.
So then what is that?
That probably puts De Jong in his place.
De Jong, who?
De Jong,
Arthur, and who else do you play? Rakitic?
Yeah, Rakitic.
What about you, Johnny?
Rakitic as a creative type.
To me, I have a variation, but to me, it's between, you can put Vidal in the hole with Rakitic and De Jong, but a player kind of stays out of position because if the problem is that they don't have players that can play in the hole besides Busquets or Rakitic. No, I mean Busquets, Vidal,
at the base, right?
And De Jong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But say you play Busquets, Rakitic, who plays in the left? Because are you gonna put Rakitic on the left? You can't, right?
On the left, yeah.
On the left mid, you can. Yeah. Would you? I don't think so.
He scored some goals from there. He produced the Messi assist from the left.
Then my best mid is still probably Busquets, Rakitic, and Vidal. Then somehow.
Wow,
no, it's not. I'm sorry. No, it's not. Yeah, De Jong has to play. So it's like.
But what's De Jong's best position?
So it's De Jong, Vidal, and Rakitic for me probably. With Busquets right there behind them. I don't rate Arthur as highly as you guys, and I don't think
I didn't put Arthur in there.
I don't know that there's another midfielder besides Arthur though. After those four,
who do you think?
At the start of the season,
after
ideally,
those four?
For me, it was Busquets, De Jong, and Arthur. I really like De Jong, and I like Arthur too. I like what he does. He keeps things moving. He keeps things ticking along and passing. Circulates the ball well. Right now, I would probably say it's De Jong, Busquets, and Vidal. Or I might put Rakitic in there too. I'm go back and forth on Busquets a lot, man. He's just not very mobile or quick or athletic or as intense anymore. You know, They need somebody there who can kind of help the center backs because they're kind of struggling at the center back position too, right?
Well, Piqué's kind of old too.
Yeah, Piqué isn't reliable or as reliable anymore, right? Umtiti's been in and out of the squad for the last year and a half due to injury.
Longlega's beat.
We've been kind of debating how good Longley is, right? So I just don't think he can cover the ground. I mean, he's class, right? He can pass the ball well. His distribution's always going to be well. And
the problem with him as the classy distributing mid is that they don't have the other two midfielders to dictate the pace because
they can play.
The only Vidal is not going to dictate the pace. He's going to push. Like they essentially don't have a Xavi or an Iniesta. Mm-hmm. Like Arthur is a bootlegged Iniesta, and they don't even have anything that resembles a Xavi. The closest thing would be Messi.
Yeah, Messi.
So it's like Busquets. He had some success. The question is who's going to be Barca's left midfielder if you play Busquets at the bottom and De Jong on the right. Right? And if you play De Jong, and then if you play De Jong at the hole and Rakitic on the right, who's going to play on the left? Even if you play Vidal, he's going to play on the right if you play De Jong. You get me?
Yeah.
So who's going to play that left midfielder role for Barca? That's where I'm saying like drop Messi to the mid or add it like now Sietten he's trying to push up the two fullbacks to kind of compensate for some of that nothingness going on there, but to me they don't answer that question still.
Honestly, to me, you can play it right there.
Arthur is the only natural left midfielder.
I was just about to say, because you know what you could do?
I was going to say throw Dembele in there, but
no, you could play Arthur there because all you need to do is give Alba more freedom to just keep it going up and down the left wing, which he does already, right? And links up excellently with Messi, right? Excellently, is that a word? Very well, but that's what I'm saying, right? And Arthur just kind of sits back there because all he does is circulate. Not all he does, right? But he circulates the ball. He keeps it moving, and he can.
He can score as well. I mean, he's in the right position.
All that means too is that the right back has to kind of sit back a little bit too.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'm being too critical.
Which is what Setien's been doing anyway, where the right back sits back and kind of sits like in a back three.
But Arthur hasn't shown any type of.
He's been hurt a lot this season.
It might be because I don't know, but
he went to go play for Brazil on the national team, got hurt.
Yeah, I can't say I count on him right now.
I mean, the only ones that link up to the offense on those teams is like Rakitic to Messi. Because De Jong does not do any link up with, Messi. I haven't seen like successful ones.
Honestly, look, Barca's just getting stale with it. Where if they need to play off of their fullbacks. Then if they're not producing anything pretty much if it's not going to Messi.
It's just a lot. It's a lot of dysfunctional pieces, and
if it's not,
we can go back and forth on putting them together, but you gotta also mix and match the offense, and then
it leads to the ultimate point.
And this is what Saitien's doing right now. Basically, he's just mix matching until he finds something that kind of works, and then he's just gonna write it.
And it's all a result of something we've already discussed, right? The mismanagement at the very top, right? That's
probably gonna cost them some games. I don't know. They have to find something real quick.
The lack of planning and foresight by the
or else Napoli might drop them out of
the guys up top, right? No planning shown at Barca, right? No types of planning or contingencies. It's all just messy, right?
So definitely Madrid looks a lot better.
A lot better position, right?
Well, Madrid at least looks like at the top they can switch or just like they can switch their players and Madrid will still play kind of how they want. Whereas Barca, I really don't know what's going on because even at like we talked about the midfield, but like the forwards is a big mess too right now. So it's like
we still have to see how Dembele fits.
I mean, it was good to see Griezmann scoring 2 goals, I think, in that 5-0, but like he's not getting the space to do how he liked to play. So, but Barca, they have fed him though. I feel like all season. I mean, they don't got nothing else. Suarez is out now till I don't know when, March.
Huge miss. Yeah.
So
till May.
And Barca didn't buy anyone. We'll bring that up later, or like not bring it up because they didn't buy anyone. So
that's what Griezmann's for.
Yeah. Fati has had to play. Dembele should be back soon, and I know that's Frankie's boy.
So
lost.
Am I crazy to say throw him in the midfield? I feel like I don't know where else. Messi, I don't know. Barca needs to do some stuff, and they're just not doing anything. And it's starting to feel a lot like last year, where you're like, okay, we're still competing, or we're still in the first, and we're gonna do good. And then when it came down to it, to the champions, it's just like, well, they kind of screwed it. It was a weird result last year, but
last year was different because they were just doing Messi, Ter Stegen all day. Like we have Ter Stegen in the form of his life. We have Messi who's gonna bail us out. So
who was Barca's midfield last year?
Busquets, Arthur for the most part, and
Rakitic.
Yeah.
So, I love Rakitic. So
they played Rafinha in the midfield sometimes last year too. Thiago's brother.
You know who else they throw that we haven't talked? Sergio Roberto. They'll randomly throw him in the midfield.
I was just about to bring him up as a joke.
Yeah, they'll randomly throw. That's his natural position apparently.
Center mid. But yeah, that's how things are looking in Spain with Madrid starting to get a little bit of separation. We'll see if Barcelona can get it together and recover. We'll see if Griezmann can pick up Suarez's slack, and we'll see if maybe the Madrid offense can start firing. Because if they do, if those attackers get going, it might be the league, right?
Well, real quick, are we just counting out Atletico then?
Yeah, I think so, man. Carrasco is back now, right? They signed him after selling him to some team in China. No disrespect to the Chinese Super League, but I honestly don't know what team it is.
Transfer update right there.
Shanghai.
So, I mean, they're lacking in offense right now. So maybe he turns the tide a little bit.
Attacking mid option.
They get Costa back, though.
Yeah, maybe Costa comes back. Maybe Morata starts scoring more.
Yeah, maybe then they play 2 forwards again.
I think they still finish third, but they're not going to catch the other two right now. They're kind of in transition, right? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, they've been struggling.
We'll see if Simeone is still even there, right? Is Simeone done at Atletico?
Maybe he makes a big statement win on the derby.
No, they got it.
I'm still in this league.
That's right. The Madrid derby this weekend. That's a big match for those of you who've got Bain Sport.
I think he's going to take that seriously. He's going to be like, look, you guys are judging my character, saying I'm done, and I'm over here beating Madrid at home, or, maybe.
Hopefully, maybe.
Hopefully, or else, I mean, that's going to be a really demoralizing loss, and there goes their season,
Well, they'll finish top 3.
We got picks later to talk about that.
For sure, some big ones. But moving on to the other big leagues in Europe, in the Bundesliga, things got even more interesting. Red Bull Leipzig lost. They lost to Frankfurt, and Frankfurt scored some bangers against them last week. They lost 2-0, which is the first time they had lost. Man, they had won like 7 or 8 straight league games, all by like 2 or more goals. They were on quite a streak, and Leipzig still in first. But now Bayern Munich is right there. Dortmund also won. Bayern blew out Schalke, which Johnny kind of called
4-0, 5-0.
5-0. You and I called the draw wrong. Super wrong.
They're in form, apparently.
But yeah, things get interesting in the Bundesliga. It's super competitive right now. As things stand, even after their loss, Leipzig is up first place with 40 points, but now Bayern is right behind them, second place on 39. Borussia Mönchengladbach. Man, I gotta learn how to say that one right. That's a long one. I usually just call them Gladbach. Mönchengladbach. That's where Beckenbauer played for a little bit. No, I might be wrong about that. I have to look up with that. He Gladbach's in third place on 38, and then Dortmund's in fourth place on 36. And even then, fifth and sixth place have 34 points. So the gap between first and sixth is just 6 points. So things are going to go down to the wire, I think, in that league. Bayern, like Andres said, is looking like they're heating up. They're in good form. Leipzig
Dortmund's heating up, right?
Leipzig's got an exciting young team, and they just made a couple of acquisitions that we'll talk about that maybe help them out. But I'm not going to ask you guys for your pick. I'll just ask you this simply. Can Leipzig hold on and win this thing? RB Leipzig?
I honestly don't know too many players besides Timo
Werner.
So
they have
it's starting to sound like they might not. I don't know.
Isn't
Tyler Adams, the young American, is there in midfield. They have Marcel Sabitzer. He's the Austrian.
I think more so is their coach, the Nagelsmann. I think he's been getting a lot of praise by a lot of top coaches as well.
They
For
play.
what he's doing right now, I mean, taking in the first place.
They play
like a sixth place position last year or something like that.
They play a high energy, high scoring game.
And they have Timo Werner in form.
They have Emil Forsberg, the Swedish number 10. Timo Werner scoring like crazy. Sabitzer scoring as well. They have a nice little team there, and they just added Dani Olmo, the highly rated young Spaniard, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But you don't think?
I don't know. I don't really know too many of those players, but it sounds like, without speaking too much on them, it sounds like it sounds like Dortmund got a boost with Haaland, and Bayern is just Bayern, so they're gonna carry that weight and just fight till the end. Obviously, it sounds like it's the most exciting race, if anything.
Yeah, definitely.
You said from first to sixth, it's 5 points or whatever. Or
from
first to
sixth is 6 points.
Yeah, that sounds like right now that's the closest league easily with the most people going for it. So,
keep your eye on the Bundesliga.
I don't see too many highlights, to be honest. Yeah, so
that'll change soon, because I think right now they get some Bundesliga games on Fox, but they're coming to ESPN for next season, the Bundesliga. So you'll be able to see the German league, y'all. Very entertaining football there.
They just got Angelino too from
Manchester City. We'll talk about that in the transfer section. But yeah, keep your eye on the German league. It's looking entertaining. One league that hasn't been very entertaining for long. Well, I mean, it is depending on who you cheer for in that league, who you support. Serie A looks like it might actually finally come down to the wire. We're talking about 8 straight years where Juve has won the title, right? This could be their 9th straight title. Currently, this last weekend, they were shocked. They lost to Napoli, guys. Napoli had been stinking it up. They lost 2-0. Well, then why did you pick Juve?
I did pick Juve. CR7 was convincing me that weekend.
Bro. It happens.
2-0. Napoli beat Juventus. At the same time, Inter and Lazio had both dropped points. They both tied, right? Lazio tied in the Rome derby with Roma 1-1. Inter tied as well 1-1. They were winning and gave up a late goal, which is something they've been doing a lot lately, right? So when I had ruled out Inter, just when I ruled them out for dropping off points, Juve drops points.
Inter is kind of playing like Real Madrid this year, in which they're just really good defensive team. Kind of limited up top, but I mean it's a little harder in the Italian league
now
because they do have players up top in Lukaku and Lautaro.
We were talking about the German league being all competitive. Do you guys think this Serie A is competitive now? Between first to
third, I'd say.
To third place, it's a 5-point spread. And that being with Lazio, Lazio has a game at hand. So let's say Lazio wins that game at hand.
They're in second.
They're in second, yeah.
I think.
Who do they play? Do you know?
But after that, third place or fourth place, Roma is down by 39. The gap is like from 7. So there's quite a gap from that point on.
Well, have you been convinced by Juventus to say that they're just going to remain all season?
They have the better pieces, and they still haven't played, the sorry way yet. And we started to debate
But
last
when is
week,
that going
right?
to come? Yeah.
We started to debate whether Higuain, CR7, and Dybala can all start, right? And what the right mix in the midfield is. And imagine if they can get that right, though.
Don't get me started on this one, too. This is that type of day today.
And look, a lot of people
With
that
With the hot topics today.
a lot of my friends, a lot of my acquaintances that know I talk football a lot, and especially talk about how CR7 is not the GOAT, right? Are they're quick to point out, right, that it's getting more competitive, right, and
all that I'm quick
and
to
that he came to win the Champions League. So honestly, I'll judge Juve more than anything by how they do in the Champions League.
Well, they're built for champions.
but
is
again,
what Johnny was saying. Is
though the thing I'll say about Juve right now is that Cristiano, the most informed player right now, coming in hot to games.
he's
Even
now
though
scored.
they lost the last game, but
Very good point. He's now scored in 8 straight league games for Juventus.
since I think.
I'm sorry. I think I might have said 2-0 earlier. No, Juve actually scored a goal. CR7 scored at the end to make things really tight.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he scored at the end. It was 2-1. He it was a long ball, kind of poked it under the keeper. The keeper really should have had it, but made things interesting at the end there. So I feel like Juve may not drop any more points, and I feel like Inter and Lazio are going to keep dropping
Battling
points
for
at some point.
2 and 3rd.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, it's gotten at this point in the last couple of years, Juve's had,
I think we started to talk about transfers too, because if you want to talk about who straightened and who strengthened and who didn't, Juventus didn't definitely add pieces, and Inter probably added 3 important depth pieces, for their team. Maybe a really important midfielder.
But that's like Johnny said. Does Juve need any more pieces right now?
No, I was gonna say exactly. They don't need any more pieces.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying they're.
I think, I mean, Andres just brings up the point. If we want, this will be a good point to start with the transfers, because pretty much the question is, were Inter's transfers enough for them to compete for the league? And I think I brought it up last week that they kind of don't care if they win the league, great, but they're gonna fight for second place and they're gonna be in the Champions. And then if they win the Europa or whatever, like they kind of don't care. But they're gonna be adequately suited, I believe, to challenge for the title. So, but it's not like something new we haven't seen. Napoli a couple years back or last year, right? Or it kind of went to the wire, but at the end, teams just don't have the steam to compete with Juve.
Absolutely.
But I think Lukaku is a talent, or not even a talent. He's just a man now. He's a beast, and Conte gets the best out of players. So
and they
added a lot of depth pieces.
He runs them into the ground too, though.
Yeah. So
it's a high intensity game that he plays. But no, you're absolutely right, Johnny. That's a great segue, great jump off point to probably the biggest thing we'll talk about for the rest to almost duration of the time. The transfer window closed. So just to kind of give you a quick rundown of how that goes, players can be transferred, bought in 2 transfer windows in European soccer or in world soccer, right? Or loaned, you're right. It's in the summer, right, from July 1st till the end of August, or mid-August, depending on if you're in the Premier League or not. And then starting the second half of most of the European seasons, so January 1st through the 31st. Today is the 31st, the window closed, and there was a lot of movement for this window, right? Not usually a little bit more than what we're used to. The biggest ones probably being Inter that we're already talking about. If you didn't see, if you haven't read, if you didn't know, Inter had picked up Ashley Young. They bought Ashley Young, right? Fullback from Manchester United. They also picked up Victor Moses. I honestly don't know where he was playing before this. Somewhere in Turkey, I think. But he used to play for Conte at Chelsea in the Premier League, so he's familiar with the system. And they also picked up probably one of the best creative midfielders in Europe, Christian Eriksen.
Underrated.
For $20 million from Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, they kind of retooled there. And like Johnny was just saying, probably reinforced to push Juve a little bit, right? Make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think if everyone hasn't seen the memes or whatever, it's just like everyone's just EPL players, all the leftovers or all the whatever. Like, is that a good move? I don't know what you guys think of those pieces. Does it add depth, or does it like? Are they gonna go on and move forward with Eriksen, Lukaku, and
I think Moses and Young definitely add depth because he uses those two flying fullbacks, right? And they both played for him, and immediately already Young's already got an assist.
Not only that, you also have a little Manchester United spine, and Young. He played Sanchez behind Lukaku and Lautaro, so you had Sanchez and then Lukaku, you know.
Against Lautaro.
So they kind of had like familiarity right there on that side of the field. So it just gives them an edge, just because everyone knows each other.
Bunch of Premier League rejects at Inter, helping them push.
It just feeds Lukaku, you know, playing with former teammates as well.
I guess sticking in Italy quickly, Milan trying to stabilize and look like the former giants that they used to be. They brought back Zlatan. And Zlatan, believe it or not, after he came, they were patchy for a couple matches, and now I believe they've won like 3 or 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm. They're in the
Super
semifinals.
Sub, right?
Yeah, in all competitions. They have to play Juve in the semifinals of the Coppa Italia now, right?
And then we have Napoli in the other side.
Yeah. Napoli and Inter. Yep.
Yeah, Cristiano got to play Zlatan after they've been talking all that smack to
It's
each
a very
other.
throwback to the 90s, right, Frankie?
When Italy,
Copa,
when Serie A was amazing.
the big names.
And because they picked up Zlatan, they had to sell Krzysztof Piatek.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what's Piatek, man? This kid was picked up in Genoa
By Milan.
So he was from the Polish league. He went to Genoa in Italy in August of 2018. Had quite an impressive run. Scored over 10 goals for Genoa in 6 months, and then Milan picked him up last January. Started hot at Milan and then cooled off, and now has been sold to Hertha Berlin, in Germany. So,
I think it's a good move. I mean, the Italian really wasn't working for him. It's probably a little too slow pace for him, and maybe in a higher scoring league, you know, you can see a little bit more of Piatek.
yeah,
He's a dynamic striker, definitely.
You
like,
think
he'll
so?
get in some tight spaces. Yeah, he's like I don't know.
because he's Polish, they keep calling him the new
Jovic
Lewandowski.
looked amazing in, you know, the German
Frankfurt?
league.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he moved to Madrid, and that really wasn't suited for him either, because he wasn't in dynamic spots where he could just launch a volley or some. It's I don't know. It's a good change for him, I guess.
Well, while these Italian teams are retooling and reinforcing, right, for the second half of the season, teams in Spain are preparing for the future. Some, I would say, questionable calls, right? Or pickups, but I think last week or earlier this week, Real Madrid signed Reinier from Brazil for $34 million.
Yeah, I don't even know who.
A young midfielder who just won it all for Flamengo, right? He just won the Brazilian League and Libertadores there. Again, not a player I know too much about, but he's one for the future to add to the growing Brazilian contingent there at Madrid, right? And the other big club in Spain, Barcelona, picked up Francisco. Shout out to him because he's got a cool name like me.
Trincao,
right? Trincao. From Braga in Portugal. Never heard of the kid, but apparently he's worth 31 million is their valuation. And they also picked up some other kid from Palmeiras in Brazil for 10 million, Mateus Fernandes.
Yep.
Both of these guys will be joining officially in the summer. So again, young guys for the future joining later on, but these deals have been made official now.
I mean, they're adding some necessary youth, you know, inside Barca for the future.
But there's youth, and then there's like nowhere youth, right? Like,
it's
and
not
then
that bad.
and then something that Johnny's been adamant and bringing up a lot too. These prices. Where does we get 31 million for some kid from Braga in Portugal?
Yeah, it makes absolutely no
10 million
goddamn
for
sense.
an 18-year-old midfielder from Brazil? Like, what the hell is going
He
on?
only had like 2 goals too.
Ridiculous.
Something like
The transfer market is inflated and busted and broken.
Yeah.
Since when? Since Pogba?
Since Bale. Johnny gave me the thumbs down on that earlier, but since Bale was not worth 100 million plus that Real Madrid played for.
Bro,
He was, bro. He was.
In the end, though, he
clearly was.
No. In the end, he was.
The last player
clearly won.
He
scored
won
in all the champs.
He was clutch.
He scored in all the champs.
100 million plus. The only player
he
was a clutch player. That's all he was, bro.
Look, the last he's played well, but for
Delivered
100
the
million
goods.
to be consistently
he
the whole shit hurt.
He delivered the
Yeah,
goods.
yeah,
Look,
bro. Yeah, I think
you're telling me-
You're paying for the players to win trophies.
You're
Yeah.
telling me
Frankie.
100 mil
And if
for
they're scoring in the finals, that's
Johnny,
exactly what you pay.
100
for
mil
them.
for golf, Wales, Real
Bro,
Madrid,
And he's still a critical
In
player
that order.
this
It's-
year.
get out.
it's
Nah.
like in baseball how you invest in, like,
Look,
you know, your last
that's-
pitcher. What is it?
I told you guys the last player I think to be worth it.
That's
And
what
you know,
exactly
and
it is.
Frankie,
Cristiano
you,
Ronaldo.
Frankie, you know, goddamn well, he's about to feature in this goddamn city.
Cristiano
City Real game.
Ronaldo in 2009.
Bale.
Cristiano Ronaldo in 2009 to Real Madrid for the 90 million. That was the last really truly worth the money purchase. Cristiano Ronaldo was worth every single one of those
Well,
90
given
million.
what Ronaldo became, yeah.
Everybody else, Pogba for the 120 or 119, whatever. Oh, way too
No,
much.
he was. You know why he
Coutinho
was,
for Dembele for 120, way too much.
You know why he
Coutinho
was-
for 107, way too much.
You know why Ronaldo was justified 100 million? Because he scored 42 goals in one season
Look,
for the Premier League,
Van Dijk was necessary.
setting a record.
Van Dijk was necessary for Liverpool, and he's worth the money, but he was not. But the valuation of 75, that was just because the market was broken. The market was broken. But again, we're kind of that's neither here nor there. We're
I think
digressing.
Bale
Regressing.
to us is justifying that price.
Digressing.
tag.
I justify Bale at what he went
I
for.
disagree.
Just like Neymar probably justified what he went for.
I do not agree with Neymar, but
Dude, nobody will ever really know how much Neymar was truly worth. Some are estimating.
I think they definitely sold him for 100 and something, and his dad kept like 30 million of it.
Well, they
There's-
reported 70. I
They
think.
reported 70, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on there. There was like third-party payments, and his dad got a cut, right? And then he went for another 100 plus when they sold him to PSG, right? And honestly, I don't think that
I
was
thought
worth
he
it.
got sold for 200 million.
Well, and I don't think it was worth it for all he's been
200
hurt.
and 200 million.
When he's been on the field, he's been productive, but he's been hurt. I wouldn't say it was worth it.
He's been in the form of his life apparently for PSG right now.
Well, yeah,
He's been scoring goals.
after he's been
shining. He's shining more than Mbappe.
after he was angling to leave.
We don't even see the French league here.
Okay, well I'm just saying he's playing well in that league and he's outshining Mbappe. So
Nah, I don't know
He's
about
still-
that.
He's still playing well.
I don't know about.
in current form,
He's
current
Mbappe's sidekick at this point now. Wogan's their peers, whatever. But
Yeah.
They didn't pick
but
up.
what
anyone.
the heck were we
Cavani
talking
didn't
about?
leave,
Bale?
bro.
we were okay. So let me bring us back. on
Cavani
track.
couldn't even leave PSG.
Yeah, Cavani hasn't been able to leave PSG. He was linked to Atletico.
He's just too expensive.
We were talking about the big transfers in Spain.
He's the third best goal scorer behind Ronaldo and Messi.
Cause I even want to go back.
This decade.
back
This
to back.
decade.
I guess the only other notable transfer in Spain this
He's
cycle
technically the best striker.
or this period, speaking of strikers, is Alcácer. Alcácer was sold from Dortmund back to Villarreal in Spain, which makes sense because BVB, Dortmund, reinforced themselves with Haaland, the hottest, young, most productive striker in the game right now.
Yeah.
And since he's joined, he's already got 5 goals. So I think easy to say that was worth it, right? And
Yeah.
the news broke earlier today that they also signed Emre Can, the German international midfielder, formerly of Liverpool, sold from Juventus. He got left out of Juventus's Champions League lineup or squad,
Salty,
right?
yeah.
And he was mad about it,
So
understandably
he
so.
went to Dortmund to play Champions League.
So now he's going to Dortmand, yeah, and he's not cup tied, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't on the Champions League squad for Juve, so
Gonna
he
go
can play.
It's a win-win for
Now,
him.
I think both of those signings are good, especially the Holland one. The Holland, amazing signing for Dortmund, right? But they did not go out and address their problems. Dortmund's biggest problem is that they make a lot of mistakes, a lot of stupid mistakes in defense. And they did nothing to address that. So while I like both of those signings, I don't think it makes them any better off.
Kind of like a Liverpool before Van Dijk, or what would you
You're
say?
kind of the BVB fan here, Andres. What do you think about that?
What?
Is this going to help them push for the Bundesliga?
No.
No?
I was not a BBB fan. I said Bayern would win the league.
Well, I mean, okay.
I mean, it definitely for Haaland. I mean, yeah, he looks like a real
for the
talent.
future, absolutely. but
Definitely
this-
off the bench, he's been showing promise. I don't know if the pressure of being a starter every game is gonna be like too much for him, but definitely off the bench, he just comes on and they look for him. He's excited to score goals.
Leipzig picked up Dani Olmo, the promising young Spaniard, formerly of Barcelona, formerly at Dynamo Zagreb.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a race, you know.
And they also signed Angelino, the left back who was at Man City, formerly of PSV, on loan. So it looks like they're kind of really reinforcing themselves to try to win the Bundesliga there, right?
Yeah.
Nothing from Bayern, really. Bayern signed right back on loan from Real Madrid, Alvaro Odriozola.
Yeah, he looks like they kind of need right back because
So they
Kimmich said that he's not really playing that position. He's going to play in the midfield. So they don't really have anyone there besides Pavard. But Pavard is preferred to be, center back. So that's why they're kind of looking for a right back on loan. It kind of just like other teams, like maybe Arsenal. Who did Arsenal pick up for a right back?
Well, I'm glad you talked because the last couple transfers we really got to talk about is in England, right? And since you brought it up, Arsenal reinforced their defense, really.
Yeah, the right back and Cedric.
They just loaned. They got Cedric Suarez on loan from Southampton, the Portuguese international right back, because they've had some injuries at fullback, right? Kieran Tierney, right, is injured, and he's a really good left back, but he's been hurt since he signed this summer. Bellerin played well last week, but he's been in and out, right, even though he's their captain right now.
Wow.
They have some 18-year-old kid playing left back, so he's definitely well needed there. And they also signed, I guess, the center back, Mari, right?
Pablo Mari.
Pablo Mari.
With the Flamengo featuring squad that played against Liverpool in the Club World Cup. So it's good to see that
they're definitely addressing their problem.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really expect anything still out of Arsenal. Whatever they get is positive, but out of nowhere, stuff starting to kind of I can see some light now in Arsenal, but I that also sounds like the story all the time, So I don't want to get too caught up in anything besides that. At least they address their defensive problems, but it was a good deal. It was cheap, and it seems to address at least what they've been messing up in.
Whatever Mustafi offered, back in the midfield.
And
Socrates.
Look, I don't know too much about Mari, so I wanted to criticize the move, but apparently he's worked under Mikel Arteta at Man City before, so Arteta's familiar with him, so maybe he can make it work. Right, and Suarez has been proven in the Premier League. Right, he spent last season on loan at Inter, and he's a Portuguese international. He plays for the national team, so I don't think.
What Suarez?
Cedric Suarez.
Not familiar with
Soares.
Yeah, Soares.
Yes.
He's been at Southampton for a couple years.
So they got two. Or he's a right back.
He's a right back. Yeah, Suarez is a right back.
So who's more poised for that top 4 spot then, or who else?
Well, we've got two other big spenders, and they're both pushing for the top 4. Spurs, right? Spurs earlier in the window, got Gedson Fernandez on loan from Benfica, right? I don't know too much about the kid. Again, he's coming from Benfica. No disrespect to Benfica or the Portugal League. But it's not very accessible, and now not one that we watch too much, right? They've got some historic clubs, right? Sporting, Benfica, and Porto are major historic clubs, great for developing young, promising players. But I can't really say I know too much about him. I think it's a good move because they got him on loan, right? So if all else fails, they send him back. They also signed Steven Bergwijn from PSV. It looks like a promising young attacker.
Yeah. Features on the Netherlands national as well.
And I think the biggest move for them, they made the signing of Giovanni Lo Celso permanent. They had him on loan from Real Betis, and now
they didn't get a striker though. So
they didn't get a striker,
which is probably their most.
I think he's confident in Son. And Heung-min Son.
For me, I don't say anything about the players they got besides that. To me, none of them are typical Mourinho signings.
Lo Celso has been playing well since
moving with Lamela.
They have a lot of pieces. Tottenham is not a bad team. They
probably just didn't have
They're
guidance.
just missing some. Yeah, they're just missing some. Obviously, the biggest move for Tottenham, honestly, was just getting rid of Eriksen. It was clear that it was just. It wasn't a football thing. It was a whatever personal or whatever. The locker room was just kind. It was just.
Yeah.
There was something weird happening in Tottenham, and now they're trying to fix it. So we'll see what's up with them. But
Yep. And then the other big spenders in England,
United
dropped 55 million on the transfer that seemed to drag on literally all month. Bruno Fernandes, 26-year-old attacking midfielder from Sporting Lisbon, another one from Portugal.
yeah,
And
Looks
forward.
like he can bring some spark to that United attack, right? Some creativity. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, he probably offered more than Lingard did. Lingard didn't have an assist or a goal in maybe like more than a
He
year.
finally scored. I think it was in the.
Still,
I think it was in the cup though.
That type of production is not gonna feed Rashford or Martial or whatever they have to offer.
but Lingard is not even supposed to be playing that kind of.
Yeah, so now, I mean, they all have another player maybe to play in somewhat a hybrid role
The
in there.
thing
I
is,
don't know what
yeah.
they're gonna use him for, but
This brings what they needed, which is someone to link up that mid to the attack. So Pogba's been out all season, and now they finally got someone to spark some type of. He looks what they need. So I said the only thing. Yeah, again, I don't know
For 55 mil?
Again, I don't know. We don't know about the prices. I definitely don't know about the prices.
It could be way more, right, with the bonus incentives.
At least I'm happy to see that. Man, you bought someone that like wasn't all not hype, but like it's not like they like before they spent all their money on players that were just valued high, like Falcao, Di Maria, all these players that end up not doing anything. So it's good to see them at least sign someone that I guess they're gonna develop, but it looks like what they need. It looks like a good signing to me, at least.
they also got Agba, or who was that? Ogba?
Another forward. I got something. I don't know from Frankie knows.
I don't know. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Solskjaer still knows that he needs technically another transfer window, and this is just building off.
Well, yeah. Sorry. The other thing I wanted to say is like, for all the crap I talk about, Man U, I mean, the race for fourth in England is like there's like 4 or 5 teams vying for that 4th place. So and they're still there. They're in 5th. Somehow Man U is still in 5th. So it's like we can say Man U's not doing whatever, but like a big game kind of them and Wolves is coming up this weekend, and that's a 6-point match really for those teams.
I think the only
Frankie?
Yep.
That's a 6-point game.
The only notable transfers that didn't happen was Chelsea didn't get anyone.
Is that Trejo with the Master Chief right there?
I don't know, but
They didn't get anyone. Chelsea didn't transfer for a striker. Lampard obviously mad. He's like, I needed help on at least something. Like they didn't appeal a 1-year ban not to sign. It's weird, you know.
I think they
don't have
I
don't think they have expectations. Not expectations, but they have enough pieces in the defense.
You just wait till the summer when there's more options, or was the transfer window just dry and not enough options enough to like.
I mean, I think teams found good deals like for 5-6 mil. Like,
that's why he didn't let Giroud go.
The only problem is waiting until this summer is that after Euros, a lot of these players' valuations are gonna go triple, double, depending on like how well they do on the national teams. So like maybe a Bergwijn plays really well for Netherlands, and they're just copying him right before he goes up. You know, another 30-40 mil.
Good timing.
So yeah, it's good timing. That's why they're kind of mad at Chelsea. It's like this is your best chance to buy someone cheap who you think might succeed on this team.
I think
before Euros.
I think contrary to what you're saying is that in the winter market, it's always a lot harder to buy someone than in the summer market. And rarely do you see players switching in the winter market and then making such a big impact.
Carrillo.
Like the last big impact. The last big impact was probably Van Dijk, even in the winter market.
Yeah, he was probably one of the.
It's hard to find players in the winter market and make them work for everything. Even right now, Barca bought players. They bought them in this winter market, but it's not for until next summer.
Yeah, they
so it's
no
like
striker position at all.
Like these buys are great, but they're not gonna do anything right now. I mean, good buying for the future, but
Well, Chelsea's just making it hard on themselves to stay in that top 4.
Wolves didn't buy anyone, or what? They bought.
We got United, Tottenham.
Did Wolves buy anyone?
And Wolves tied on points.
Odieni Gallo, right? That's kind of the. I was at work when I got that. the panic buy for Manchester United. It's a loan from China, and he's familiar with the Premier League, but we'll see how that goes. They did need a striker, right, with Rashford out.
Bro, 5th through 14th place is separated by 4 points.
Yeah, it's a toss-up in the middle of the table. At the
It's
Premier.
4 points. It's a win-loss type league.
So Arsenal is even...
Arsenal's still in there with a couple wins and a couple of losses, draws with
Some stability.
So,
stability. I think right now you're just looking for the team that just built stability for the rest of the season.
I guess what Frankie said too earlier, this has been the most exciting winter transfer market in a while. It's going to really add a new spice to the Premier League, at least for that race for 4th.
Yeah, 4th.
And then Inter for their race in the Italian league and in Germany with all the signings. So it was a lot of moves, actually.
So does Chelsea stay 4th?
I think so.
I don't know.
You think
I don't
so?
know.
You think they hold on?
I don't know anymore. No, I don't know. It's still a good gap from
Or
4th to 5th.
does Bruno Fernandes score, 20 goals the second half of the season?
No.
Spark United or what's gonna happen? What do you think?
If he can score 5 goals,
That's a
that would be
lot.
great.
Yeah.
Does United go to 4th? Okay, so now is United for real, Frankie, or what?
I don't know. I'd
the
have to see
signings?
it before I say anything about the
You have to
signings.
see
I'd
it.
have to see them first. But I would say,
Promising, at
honestly, Leicester looks like they might drop out of that top 4, guys. I think Chelsea can still hang in there.
I don't know. I'm saying both of them are debatable.
Honestly, more than ever now, it's a toss-up, right?
Now it's more.
Spurs can still get in the mix there. Maybe United. Man, I don't know.
You'd have to see how everyone clicks.
I don't know.
Before you're making
The beautiful game, y'all.
Yeah. It's interesting every week.
But yeah, that kind of wraps up our transfer wrap there. There's a couple other moves, obviously, that we probably didn't touch on, but those were the movers and the shakers, I guess, to use another cliche.
That's a good podcast name. The movers and the shakers. Psych.
I don't think I used that right, but regardless.
Yeah, I know.
Before we before we make our picks for the week, just quickly want to touch back on this side of the pond on our local stuff, right? Our local leagues, Liga MX. We didn't really talk about it last week. We'll only briefly talk about it now. But the thing I want to mention, we're 3 weeks in now, and 2 historic clubs, 2 of the Cuatro Grandes, right, of Mexico look like they might be back. Pumas and Chivas have yet to lose, guys. In the Mexican League, Chivas, of course, went out and bought like a whole nother starting 11, right? They're the Chivalacticas, right? And they lost in the Copa MX. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal because the Copa MX is the Copa MX. It's not a big deal. They lost to Dorados, right? De Sinaloa. But yeah, they haven't lost. They had a really thrilling match with Toluca, 2-2. They tied today. Atlético San Luis came back and tied them at the end.
As we were speaking,
Yeah, as we started filming. That was entertaining. Pumas, again, hasn't lost either. They're a team that looked lost for a couple years, and they're one of Mexico's big 4. Looks like they can be on top there. And I think it's just good for the league that we have some of these bigger teams looking better. Because lately it's been the Monterreys, right? The Tigres. God forbid America wins another championship.
Yeah, right.
I've been loving the Liga MX because you can just kind of YouTube any game and it'll be out there.
It's been YouTube, right?
Thrilling encounters. We were just watching Tijuana Atlas right now. I'm not sure what the score is on that.
It was 1-0 Atlas. But
oh yeah, that's right. Lucho Acosta scored, formerly of DC United. But no, yeah, it looks like I mean, Liga MX is always kind of open, right? And it's kind of really exciting to watch. So we'll try to keep you posted there as much. We'll see if Chivas can hang in there, if Pumas can hang in there, and see if some of the other bigger clubs can get some consistency, some footing. Cruz Azul won their first match of the season last week. They blew out Santos 3-0. I'm happy about that one. I mean, you can never rule out America. They're kind of hanging in there.
It's really hard to call every week.
Tigres, right? America beat Tigres,
Yeah.
which is a big result early in the season. Monterrey, again, is too good. They're the reigning champions. I'm sure they're going to recover from only got a single point from 2 games played right now. So, yeah, we'll keep you posted there, see how Chivalacticas project progresses.
Only 3 games in the season.
If it progresses. And also, I'm excited. MLS is coming back in a month now, guys. It's the beginning of February. MLS starts back up
Any
in
transfers?
March.
Any transfers for?
Well, the big one was
the
Chicharito,
Fire?
right? Chicharito coming to the Galaxy, which is going to put a lot of asses and a lot of seats, a lot more eyes on the league.
Chichadios.
Chichadios, right? Versus Carlos Vela at least twice a season. You got to be excited for that. That's going to be fun to watch. As for the Fire, they still have 2 designated player slots, which means they can still, sign 2 big players or 2 big contracts. Their home opener is going to be at the end of March 21st, back in Soldier Field. That's why I'm rocking the cap, the classic cap. They changed their logo. Not too happy about that. But yeah, the MLS is adding a couple more teams, 2 more teams to the league. They're adding Nashville and Inter Miami, David Beckham's team.
You know who their coach is for Inter Miami?
Diego Alonso. They got a pretty good coach out of formerly coached at Pachuca in Mexico, right? I think he coached one other team. He coached Monterrey, I think, for a little bit in
He made them champs, right?
Yeah, he won a championship there.
They made one of the MLS midfielders captain of that team.
Of which team?
I think it's Philadelphia, maybe Union, wasn't it? I forgot. I can't remember his name, but they just
Bedoya?
no, not Bedoya. They added a midfielder on the squad for the transfer season actually.
Well, a lot of players from Liga MX have been going to MLS. Jara, one of Pachuca's strikers, I think went to, I can't remember what team he went to, Vancouver? He's playing in MLS now. Your boy Puligol, right? Alan Pulido is going to be playing for Kansas City. Kansas City broke the bank for him.
No Pizarro on fire though.
Rodolfo Pizarro turned down the Fire. He wants to stay in Mexico or possibly go to Europe. So we'll see again if the Fire adds anybody. There's a month before the season starts. But I was reading something this week that pointed out that even just last season, some of the biggest and most impactful transfers in MLS didn't go down until this month, right? Or right before the season. So we'll see there. I also heard that the Fire is going to be on WGN, guys. That's big. We're in the 3rd biggest market, Chicago, in the country. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of soccer fans. WGN is free. That's like basic TV, right? So if everybody can watch these games, I think it'll go a long way into getting more people to watch the Fire, getting more people to go to Soldier Field. Hopefully, getting a better team out of it too. I'm kind of excited. I don't like the logo. It's weak. It's not a big deal because I'm more excited about or more concerned about the product on the field, but hopefully they can be competitive.
Inter got a men's national team, Will Trapp.
Oh, Will Trapp, yeah, he went from Columbus.
Yeah.
No, Columbus has signed a lot of players this season too. They kind of did a makeover, but I'm really surprised that they let Trapp go. Trapp is like their captain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what they got.
Yeah,
I can't remember him.
He's played for the national team a couple times. He's a pretty solid, decent, holding midfielder.
Someone likened him to I think Pirlo. He's a comparison, and he was like he brushed it off, but he's like, yeah, definitely. I'm trying to play, in the holding position, spray passes, long range, and I mean, that's a pickup for Inter Miami and MLS.
Yeah, if you're watching us here in Chicago, support the team. Go watch them. Support local football.
If they get
anywhere
a
else.
Support us.
Yeah. Speaking of supporting us, big shout out to the 4 or 5 people who've been watching consistently for the last hour. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Our boy Carrillo says he doesn't know anything about soccer yet. Hopefully you're learning a little something today. Just watch some more games, bro. It's fun. It's entertaining. And yeah, keep commenting. Keep shouting us out. Oh, they're shouting out the guy on the left with the glasses.
Keep commenting.
Johnny getting the shout outs. But yeah, share, like, let us know what you think. Let us know some of your thoughts, what you think, who's your favorite team. So what do you guys think about the transfers?
Are we wrong or what? What am I?
Shout out
our picks, right? We got
shout out my boy Ryan.
Yeah,
Ryan.
I lost all credibility last week with the picks.
Well, yeah. Speaking of that, we'll kind of wrap things up with the our picks. So week 1, I had the most picks. Week 2, Johnny had the most picks. So last week, Johnny got 3 correct picks. I had 2 correct picks. Andres got none.
Yeah, none.
So I've won one
The
week.
wild
Johnny's
weekend.
won 1 week. And our total tally as of right now is Johnny's got 5 correct picks. I've got 6 correct picks. Andres has got 4 correct picks. So we'll keep those tabulated. I'm winning right now. But it's close.
You had 6 right?
I got 6. That's right.
It's a tight race.
Johnny's got
It's a
5.
race,
Andres has
bro,
got
right?
4.
It's a race.
I don't know. We got to put something on it. We got to make a bet or something. Somebody's got to get
Man,
shamed.
we
or
got
somebody
a
gotta-
lot of good games this week. I think if whoever can pick this week will be,
All right, yeah. So
driving seat.
you're right. This week we do have some good matches finally, because I think last week was a little bit hard to call and
Yeah,
a
it
little
was hard
bit
to call.
some tougher games. This week, however, we've got a couple of really good ones in the Premier League. We've got 3 that we're talking about in the Premier League. 1 in La Liga, 1 in Serie A, and 1 in the Bundesliga. We'll start with the early match tomorrow at 6 a.m. Central Time anyway.
Yeah.
Leicester City versus Chelsea. Who you guys got?
I think Chelsea wins that one.
That sounded a little hesitant there.
Yeah, because they're gonna try to play Tammy Abraham through pain, but we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I mean, they're just gonna have to grind this one out. If they're not gonna get a striker, Lampard's gonna be like, "Look, this is a squad that's playing. We got no one. Giroud's still here. We gotta make it work." So Leicester is gonna be hard to break down, but maybe is it? Do you know where they're playing at? Is it Stamford Bridge?
I'm definitely taking Leicester, and they're at the King Power
They're at the King
Stadium.
Power.
All
I
right.
think, yeah.
Johnny taking Leicester. All right. I'm going to take... Oof.
Right there at the home, Leicester's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it won't change my pick, but I'm going Leicester.
Leicester just because they've been more consistent with
Yeah, I think they'll just show the same
quality that
yeah,
they have.
the same. They'll reflect the table. I think the gap between 4th and 3rd is a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
I need not too
Yep,
much.
they're
but
at the
it's
King Power
considerable.
tomorrow.
Is Pulisic still out?
I believe so. I believe he's still out. But I got Chelsea tomorrow as well, I
I
think.
think they're gonna upset Leicester.
I think they get back on track.
I mean, Leicester's a hard
I'll take
opponent.
Leicester.
Third
Yeah.
versus fourth.
I
It's
like
a
the
third
way
versus fourth.
I like the way Callum Hudson-Odoi has been playing.
Reece James.
Reece James at right back. Oh man, that's a tough. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, this is on the spot.
Shout out
Frankie.
Chavi.
This is on the spot.
Chavi got Leicester. I'm gonna go with the draw. This is gonna be a good
Chelsea-
match. Don't get it
Chelsea
twisted.
lost
It's gonna be a
cause.
good match.
Got Leicester. Yeah.
We got Leicester's.
So we got this one is split. Everybody made a different pick for
Alright.
this one. So we'll see. That'll be an interesting one. But again,
You got a draw?
if you can get up early, definitely watch this match. This is a good one. Yeah, I'm picking the draw. I don't know who to pick. I think it could go back to back.
6:30. Get a little breakfast, a little 2 for 4.
Also, tomorrow we've got United versus Wolves. Battle for the top 4, maybe, or battle to stay into the Europa League spots. Who you guys got?
You gotta tell me who's at home, but I'm gonna go Wolves. I'm going Wolves.
I think it might be.
I'm going
I
Wolves.
think Wolves' home stadium is what they're playing at.
Doesn't matter. I'm going Wolves.
I like the confidence.
I got United. I think Bruno.
Nope, they're at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I'll take Wolves.
Okay, I'll take United.
The United's unbeaten in 11 home matches.
Take Wolves.
Johnny, I love it.
Just by being Wolves.
You got United on this?
Yeah, I got United. I think they get a little boost from Bruno Fernandes.
I'm going to go with a tie here, too. I'm going to agree with Chavi. Just because, one, United's unbeaten in 11 at Old Trafford.
Oh, crap.
Not even Liverpool could beat them at Old Trafford. And then Wolves, I just saw give Liverpool their toughest match of the season, possibly. So I think, I think they can go in there and definitely make them comfortable.
Do some damage.
Yeah.
You think Bruno Fernandes does nothing in this game to inspire?
Do you think he plays already? I think
he'll
if he
come
plays,
as a sub,
if he
yeah.
plays, he comes
You
in.
don't
as a
think he
sub.
has like a 2-goal, 1-goal debut or something like that?
Nah, I don't know, man. It takes people
Academy
time.
products show up and they score 1 goal.
It takes.
Something magical happening at Old Trafford.
It takes people time to adjust to the Premier League, man.
I mean, it can. We'll
It's
see.
physical.
One thing for sure, there's gonna be a lot of Portuguese talent out there.
For sure.
I just think Bruno Fernandes has like a good debut. He scores, they win. It's
Wow.
Manchester United.
Bold. All right. On Sunday in the Premier League, Spurs versus City. It's a good one. Tottenham
Yeah,
and Mourinho.
this one's the tough one for
Man,
me.
these games are.
Where is this one at?
I believe this is at, what do they call it? It's
They're
not
at
White Hart Lane anymore, right?
City.
Is it? No, they're in London. It's at the Spurs Stadium,
We got
Tottenham
Fox.
Stadium. It's the Wolf.
The Wolves. Another Wolves fan over there.
This I'm inclined to take the tie on this one.
I'm not even going to ask Andres. I already know what he's going to say.
I'll take the tie on this one.
They're playing Spurs.
Yeah, it's their away, though.
I'd say City. City boasts probably Laporte in the defense again. Fernandinho hopefully in the mid over Gundogan. I mean, that's ideal for me. And if they play, even if they play two strikers up top, I think they'll be okay. Or Aguero with two wingers. I mean, really, the Pep's lineups, bro, I can't even predict how he's going to show up.
Yeah.
So
Is Mourinho going to...
he has a lot of tagging options. Spurs didn't upgrade. They got a couple pieces that no one really knows how they're going to fit in. So
This is another intriguing one. A couple storylines here, right?
I got City winning.
The Mourinho-Guardiola rivalry, right? Mm-hmm. So Johnny's got the draw. You got City. Man, I don't know. Oh, that's a tough one. I think that's going to be a tough one. I don't want to call another draw because then that'll be my third draw call.
I mean, I was going to take Tottenham or the draw because it's City.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go City actually on this one too. I just think
Draw?
Sterling. I think Sterling's due for a big match, big performance. Who knows? Maybe Sané's back. Maybe he makes a performance off the bench, right? He's back in training.
I mean, Spurs at home. They better not be losing at home.
All right, biggest match in Spain this weekend, the Madrid Derby. Atletico versus Real. Who y'all got?
Simeone or Zidane?
That's at Real again, right?
At Bernabeu. There's a stat saying that Atletico actually do produce at Bernabeu, so this is not a fortress for them at all. They'll take away points.
I don't know.
Is this Simeone's end? What do you guys think? I think Madrid, over quality and overall form, is going to, defend Bernabeu like they always do. And Atletico lost Felix for the game. They picked up Carrasco. I'm not too sure. They're still missing Koke, who's probably the only one that can link that mid to that Morata or whoever offense is up there.
Nola for Ache, huh? Herrera?
Yeah, but it's a tough ask for even Ache, It's a lot of pieces. Lamar has been trying to move away from Atletico, but he's still there. I don't know. I think it's just too much for Atletico. Even though I respect Simeone and what he does, he might just have not enough players for the game.
Yeah, no, Real looked good in the Copa in the middle of the week. They got goals from Vinicius. They got goals from Benzema.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I think I go Real with this one and agree with Andres. Who you got, Johnny?
Just take a tie, I guess.
A tie.
I want to say
This could
Real,
be two defensive teams. They both struggle to score.
I mean, Madrid has options though, so it's kind of you made me go that way because it's like Atletico just doesn't have anyone up top. Morata is gonna. I mean,
Vitolo.
I'll go tie. Yeah, sure, tie.
Tie. That's just. They could go that way easily as well.
Nothing too crazy in Italy this weekend. Next weekend we have the derby between Inter and Milan. So that's next week. I'll be excited because that one looks like it could finally be like a really good match for the first time in a long time. But this week, the biggest match, two of the bigger clubs in Italy. Juve plays Fiorentina. The other reason why I picked it is Juve's coming fresh off a loss. So, hey, maybe the streak continues. Who you guys got?
I don't know.
Straight Juve down the line or what?
Yeah, I think
I don't
Juve.
think you gotta ask me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Juve. They're gonna bounce off from that loss.
I guess different question then. Does CR7 make it 9 straight league matches with a goal?
Yeah.
You
You already know it's CR7.
hat trick for sure.
Hat trick for sure, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm definitely not going to go Fiorentina, but I don't know if I want to go towards Juve. No, yeah, Juve's got this.
They have to come back from that loss, bro.
We'll go Juve there.
They're
And then,
still the number one team to beat in, Serie A.
obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're taken down, so.
8-time defending champions.
Yeah, bro. I don't think we're.
Call that a challenge. But yeah, the last one we'll pick out of the Bundesliga. This one's got a lot of implications. We got this first place going against third place. They're not Red Bull, technically. RB Leipzig versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. Who you guys got? I got RB. I got Leipzig. They lost last week. First time they lost in a while. I think they get back on track. They just play too fast. They score too many goals. I got Leipzig.
I think I got a draw.
Draw. That would, and that's because you want Bayern to win.
Well, yeah, that would help my cause. No, I mean, Mönchengladbach definitely showed some pedigree beginning of the season. Leipzig is right now, scoring goals with Timo, so. Favored Leipzig, yeah, but, I mean, that's because they're in first place. But I could still see, maybe two heavyweights, too many missed chances, and you got to draw.
Where's the game at? That one?
That one, I'll tell you in a second. I believe it's in Leipzig.
Mönchengladbach is in third place.
Yeah. I'll take Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Just cause?
Nah, I think they lost one game. They're about to lose two.
They haven't lost in the league.
No?
In 3 games. They've been on a...
Nah, I got them. I got
form.
I got them.
All right.
Let's pick at home.
That's the 6 ones that we're going to pick. That Fiorentina is ass.
You got Leipzig winning?
How you going to do, my boy?
You got Leipzig winning, Freddie?
What's up?
You got Leipzig winning? Timo Werner?
Yeah, he said that.
I had too many goals, right?
Yeah, RB, boy. Hey, Fiorentina is historic. They're not great right now, but they got some interesting players like Federico Chiesa.
And Ribéry's injured.
Oh, yeah, Ribéry plays there right now.
He's injured, though. He had the most dribbles in the league.
Shout out
beginning of the season.
Batistuta.
Shout out everyone who's watching right now.
But yeah, those are our picks for this week. We'll keep you tabs. We'll keep in tabs. We'll kind of think of something. We got to make this high stakes, guys. We got to make it some bet or something for supremacy, for bragging rights or something here. But yeah, that's all we got for you this week, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. Those of you who tuned in live, thank you for those of you who are being interactive. Shout out Chavi. Shout out Victor. Shout out a few others that commented. Bell.
Shout out, Kobe.
Kobe, yeah, shout out Kobe, man. True fan of Milan. Milan honored him this week. A lot of people don't know that, but Kobe spent like 7 or 8 years of his childhood in Italy while his dad played there. Grew up around soccer and was a true fan of the game. So
rest in peace.
Definitely a sad week in that regard. But yeah, thanks again. Let us know what you think. Keep commenting, keep sharing, keep liking. Let us know what your picks are or give us some of your thoughts. I know our friend of the show, friend of Full Heel, Ryan, always gives me feedback and is always giving me his questions and interesting facts and corrections. That's the kind of shit I need. Let us know. Shout out my boy Will. He kind of mentioned the podcast this week too. Thank you guys for giving us a listen and giving us a chance. But yeah, watch some football this weekend, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah, there's great games this week.
With some more action. Champions League is almost back, so keep that on the horizon too.
2 weeks.
Thanks again, y'all. See you next week.
Peace.
She paints pictures